Hello and welcome back to World of WOW's Operation Replays with your host. Now, we've had our Henri tech line. So let's bring in some more Henri. But this is a really weird matchmaking. Look at it. We've got a super carrier, super cruiser, and then, 4 cruisers, and then, what is that, 5 DDs. I think it was, 5 DDs? Yeah, 5 DDs and a sub. No battleship. So, really great matchmaking for an Henri. And there is that carrier. So, we are aware of that. And we're worried about that. The carrier does worry me. But I also know, yes, he can be in a carrier. He may not be even a good carrier. But me and Eck are thinking, we're going to stay with the Gdansk. With all these DDs, the Gdansk is a super strong ship, and we need to help keep him alive. So I'm pushing in with the Gdansk. And looking at what I'm facing in terms of cruisers, the only thing that even has guns like mine are the Yoshino. Everything else dies to me. Now we have HE loaded, because these are basically close to railguns. Not like Russian railguns, but they do have a pretty good velocity. And Henri being fringe is, usually pretty fast, 35 knots, without the speed boost gun. So, you'll get to see the speed boost. Salem pops up, I aim for him, and we shoot. That's a 19-kilometer shot. Yes, they are still pretty floaty, but that was a pretty good velocity. We only get 2 shots, but he do get 1 fire. Now he can choose to let that fire burn or not let it burn. And he chooses to DCP it. We do put shots, and Yoshino is a pretty easy target of Citadel, but there is a lot that can happen. We just aimed a little too high. But it's alright. You look where they're going, though. They're going up the 910 line. So they basically render themselves. If they're going to go anywhere, then they're screwed. Gdansk is spotted, and look what he finds. He finds the Jaeger. We switch to AP, or HE, and we pop our reload booster. We're going to try to do what we can to help get this guy down. Even if we're only going to do a little bit of damage, it all adds up. He's gone. We switch back to AP. And we got a broadside Des Moines going. Those are Oster Gotland torps. 1 salvo. Should have been more, surprisingly, but we only get 1 Citadel. He has to turn away to avoid the torps, so our shells obviously miss. But, we're just going to push straight in. We're not worried. That was probably a bad shot, but I'm not worried. Still, like about 3,000. We pop our Hydro. Des Moines turns. We do put a shot out to try to get it. It's not looking good for the Henri, is it? And that was a pretty good shot on him. Now we're starting to get our shots in. But instead of turning, had we probably hit our shots better, we probably could have got a crack in this match. Let's be honest. But we're going to make up for it later. Because they literally just push in. And between the ZOW and everything, and the CV, yeah, they're screwed. The Des Moines goes down, is going to go down, and the Yoshino goes down. But there's still that beautiful full health Oster Gauntlet sitting there, which is mucho gracias XP. And we're just going to go right, we're going to just speed boost, we're going to go right around it. Gdansk picks up the Des Moines. They've lost 3 really good ships. Oster Gauntlet basically has to turn away, and we get 4,000 on him. We pop our reload booster just to be safe, and we fire another salvo, and he's gone. That was like 10,000 on that 1 DD. That adds up really quickly. Now, we know the Edgar's in the channel, we know the Salem's over there, and we know there's a DD over there. I want you to keep an eye on where that DD was. There was a DD right there in B. I want you to see where that, you know, DD pops back up. Okay?
All stations requesting fire support.
Like, he's literally just sitting there in the channel. No one can shoot him. I thought the CV would go for him, but he's literally just sitting there. I'm like, well, I'm going for him. And the A side is holding really well. Let's be honest. They're holding pretty good. And he's literally just sitting there at full health, at basically half health. We put 1 salvo out on him. And 5 Citadels, devastating strike. And he puts 1 salvo back on us in return. It's like, eh. And then look at Mr. Salem. The same Salem that we punched a hole in the beginning of the match. He's missing about 4,000 odd health, so he lost plus the CV. He hasn't seen much action. And then we put a beautiful 24k salvo, 25k. And then we pop our reload booster. And Salem's gone in 2 salvos. It's a pretty good match for us. But you literally just saw how their team just... And see, look at where the DD is that I told you about. He is literally all the way up there with the Super CV. He literally went all the way around there. I can understand doing that against a normal CV. But a Super CV, that's just suicide. And we did, if you didn't notice, we did have a super tester with the Lucian in there. So, we did get to see that ship. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty good ship for this next dockyard. There's the Smolensk out there. Now, against, with the AP velocity, these are actually, they're not railguns like Soviets, but they're pretty decent. And I was rushing south to get the, the CV. Because we know he's down there. I was rushing south, let's be honest. We are going to pick up the Smolensk. Had we probably landed our shots better on the Des Moines or the Yoshino, you know, odds are we might have been able to have our Kraken. And then we're just going to speed boost south. But that DD back there has literally just been, you know, hunting that CV. Not really helping his team at all. Then the sub-surveillance radar. You got the Indianapolis pushing in. Yeah, that sub's not going to have a good time down there. Plus, I believe they caught him on the surface, so he's screwed. Now the DD, they have no points at all. Because we took the only cap they had points on. It was literally just a steamroll, let's be honest. and they pick up the U-201 and the DD, and it's game over. Now, we actually did get another Halsey mission done for this battle. I believe it was get like a fire and be like almost like top of your team, I think, or in the top 3. Only 120, well, 6K, still a little over $1 million, and a decent little profit. Not bad. But let's go to the team score. 20, not as great as it was for our Hindenburg game, but still 2,300. Very decent. And our whole division's in the top, well, 5. With the Lucian, this tech, the new dockyard ship being, well, 5th. But you literally just saw that their team really screwed up in a lot of different ways. But that is, I see that a lot in the forums. That you see a lot of people, saying, getting mad that it's, well, like steamrolls, or that's not, I don't really blame that on Wargaming. Think of it this way. Is it Wargaming's fault that they put you on teams with bad players? Or is it the player's fault for not working on becoming a better player? Just think on that question. But 44,000 to Salem, 26,000 to the Edgar, 10,000 to the Oster. Like, had we probably popped our reload booster on that Yoshino, we probably could have got him down. So that's probably our bad. But it's not like we need a Kraken. Kraken's nice, but they don't give no flags anymore. So there really isn't an incentive. The Kraken's nice to see, but if anything, it's just more for bragging rights. But 26,000, 27,000 is Yoshino, 10,000 is Des Moines, and then the 4,000 the Edgar. And what we were saying, we sustained only 20,000 damage. We only took a few HE shells from the Ostergotland, and that was legitimately it. And then the torps, we took 2 Ostergotland torps, which are pan-European torps, so they don't hurt. And then we took a little bit of fire and everything. Literally, the Ostergotland did all the damage to us. It was literally the Ostergotland. Literally nothing else did damage to us except him. That's pretty sad. And I was charging in on that Yoshino in Des Moines. Like, I don't know why those two didn't really focus me. I don't know. But that is literally, Henri. And for credits, we made over $500,000. That's a good profit. That's a really good profit. Then a little over 1,000 free XP, then some ship XP, and for our commander, we made a nice profitable 10,000. So really good, really good. That's always good to see when you get that kind of, profitability and commander XP for your captain. But that is what makes Henri such a great ship. Yes, the Conde is there. Yes, it's a better Henri, but for economic purposes, Henri is by far still a great ship. By far. I love this ship.